Research found out that we need over 70,000 pack houses, but right now in India, recognized pack house is only 200. In the southern Tamil Nadu region, ours is the first and only for mangoes. 90% of the mangoes are artificially ripened.
Doing good is profitable. Being happy is successful.
Every mango that comes out from MangoPoint is going to be definitely carbide free.
100%.
Exactly, 100%.
Yes, 100% carbide free.
Yes.
2 tons, which 2000 kgs of mangoes were sold in 2 hours. Prasanna was the one who drove the truck because we didn't get any driver.
Some things would be great, but they are not. We could be better, but we are not. Case in point, India is the world's largest producer of mangoes. And yet, when it comes to the mango trade, we own hardly 3% of it. Problem? Lack of proper infrastructure. The entire world would love to eat Indian mangoes, but they are not sure if it has been chemically treated and therefore carcinogenic. Problem? Inability to meet international standards. 2 problems, 1 solution, a great startup. Meet MangoPoint. Manjula and Prasanna, thank you very much for joining us. You have both been in tech and you've been abroad, but you gave all of that up and decided to come and do this. Tell us why.
We are very connected to our roots, right? My dad was in army, so for me, you know, nation is pride. So, and Prasanna, by nature, he's a farmer. We decided that we had to come back and we know something with agriculture is what, you know, something with agri-technology, that's what we wanted to focus on.
Her reason was like more being my nation, like that kind of a thing. For me, it's all family. For me, it is tough to be away from family, tough to be away from my village, right?
Even when I opened this episode, I spoke about the lack of infrastructure and the inability to meet international quality standards as problems. So when you say that you are the first pack house in the region and you're the first integrators for mangoes, is that what you're solving? For a layperson, explain this to us.
Generally, when we talk about agri as a infrastructure for agriculture, right, we talk about storage, godowns and cold chain solutions and all that. So, Ministry of Farmer Welfare and Agriculture did a research in 2016, and what they figured out was we do have enough storage, just that it is in certain pockets, it has to be more integrated. But what we do not have is this concept of integrated pack house. So, what is integrated pack house? So, generally any region where there is a cluster of a particular product, right, like mango or for grapes, right. So, you need to have a farm infrastructure that will first take the initial harvest immediately within the 24 hours and then do what we call as post-harvest treatment. So, mango is one kind of fruit, and grape needs it, so tomato needs it, apple needs it. So, in the established world, apple has pack houses in every growing region. So, if you go back to Western countries, right, every major apple growing location or geography will have this concept of integrated pack house. But this brings in the initial harvest. In fact, they will even coordinate the harvest, and then they will make sure that the produce that you get, you wash it, because if you go to IAHR and talk to the scientist over there, right, they'll say that the best thing is to wash your fruits and vegetables immediately after harvest, because that will take off 90% of the chemical residues in it. So this is the international standards, right? But we really don't do that. Usually it is taken in more unorganized way. So we need this pack house in every single cluster across India. That's when the research found out that we need over 70,000 pack houses. But right now in India, recognized pack house is only 200. In the southern Tamil Nadu region, ours is the first and only for mangoes. The more surprising fact as we got into research and finding that was, this is one of the biggest clusters in the entire world.
When my father-in-law told me this story, I think 2013 or 2014, where farmers had to throw away the mangoes because it wasn't even going like even for 5 rupees or 10 rupees, you know, it wouldn't even cover the transportation cost.
And the thing is, considering we are the world's largest producer of mangoes, it is pathetic that we don't have the processes in place to reach it.
Exactly. And what is more shocking is 90% of the mangoes are artificially ripened.
Yes.
There is a concept of there are certain fruits which has to ripen after harvest, like tomato is also a fruit, by the way, and so is mango, right? Papaya. So these kind of fruits have to be ripened after harvest, because you cannot have a consistent ripening in the tree itself. We knew as a trader that there are practices which are not really healthy, specifically what we call as calcium carbide, right? So this is a trader secret, okay? So
it is carcinogenic, it's no secret. Everybody knows it's carcinogenic. And it's banned in the US, right?
yeah, it is banned all over the world. Even in India,
it is banned.
But unfortunately, you don't have that infrastructure.
So people, they don't have patience. Everyone wants to make that quick money within that 3 or 4 months, right? So you harvest it, you don't do anything, just harvest it, put it in that calcium carbide and everything, and by morning you will get that bright yellow. So we need to have mango to prevent cancer, right? To prevent many digestion issues, and here you eat them, you get cancer. For me, anything that we do, it should be so close to heart, something you have to do good. Doing good is profitable, being happy is successful.
Actually, yes. And also, if you look at it, everybody has become more conscious of their health.
Yes.
Right? It's not like 15 years ago, you tell me calcium carbide, I'll say, what? I'm a layperson and I know calcium carbide is carcinogenic. Correct. How come? Because of the internet. We've got all this. Now, post-COVID, we are even more careful. So, which means you want to do good and people want good. So, there's a perfect match, don't you think?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we figured out in this entire business model, right? Not just the mangoes. The product that comes out of the mangoes, how we can ensure that entire suite of mango that we take all through the year is completely free of these carcinogenic calcium carbide.
So every mango that comes out from MangoPoint is going to be definitely carbide free.
100%.
Exactly, 100%.
Yes, 100% carbide free.
Yes.
And you're also going to be locally sourcing.
Yes.
And you are getting it from the region immediately into your systems, into your pack house. So you are grading it, sorting it, and you're washing it and all of that. So we are expecting international quality.
Yes.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So are you looking at the domestic market alone or also the export market? How are you looking at it?
Actually, when we started the business, we were only focused on we need to get a better income for the farmers. So that's when we said, like, because our connect, everything, network, everything was, abroad. So we said we are going to, have this export channel. So that's when COVID stuck. We did few consignments. We did send it to abroad, and that's when we had a nation lockdown, and we had like 2 tons of mangoes lying there, which was ripened, and we didn't know what to do. And that's when this MangoPoint brand was born.
So there's a good
we took these 2 tons to the apartment communities. We created that awareness, and I was so surprised. Of course, we had to take that bit of effort. As you said, calcium carbide, not many people could connect. So there is something called chemical free, 100% naturally ripened. By the way, that is what is the USP of MangoPoint, and just like the mangoes from your backyard, right? So we were surprised that 2 tons, which 2000 kgs of mangoes were sold in 2 hours.
It was 8 p.m. when we took the truck to OMR, some of the high-rise apartments, called up few friends, and by 11 we were back.
I still remember Prasanna was the one who drove the truck, because we didn't get any driver. So he has driven U-Haul trucks in US. He had this experience of driving those trucks.
You never know what experience is coming to help you when, right?
Seriously, it was little scary, but we managed no traffic. So.
Yeah, and I was his helper at that time, sitting in the truck, and then I went because I had to write down. This is another problem, right? We are not catering to our own people, right? Correct. So we need a brand because we need to be very loud with our USP, right? So that's why we need that brand. And that's when it's like focuses on export and export services, but that's 30% of our business, and then 70% is focused on the domestic, and the 30% is focused on the value additions that we do. That can go both export and domestic.